forget to subscribe.
How to find good girls to date. Good girls for, you don't really want to be out there dating a whole bunch of girls that are just, you don't want to be sharing girls. You don't want girls that are sleeping around with lots of guys. I think that's common sense for most men out there. Although these days it might not be something that you're allowed to express publicly because, society's changed, hasn't it? But there are so many good girls out there that there's a good chance that you're not having access to them because of the way that you've been brainwashed into thinking that society should be. I'm going to have to explain this in a little bit more detail, but before we kick it off, I'm Dave, and this channel is dedicated to giving you no BS, novel dating advice for the modern man. Top link in the description. Check out my website, go to my YouTube channel, check out my website, and sign up to some cold approach coaching with myself. I teach men to cold approach girls. I also give them a dating structure. I teach them how to respect themselves. And each man that I coach then goes out there and changes Western society for the betterment of the entire society. You understand, if you watch a few more of my videos, you understand what I'm trying to do here. But most of the time, but firstly, hang on, look, there's the Sydney Opera House. I'm in Circular Quay, it's called. This is Sydney Harbour. There's a busker there. There's the big city. It's a little bit bright in the background. Maybe it's just my camera. It's focused on me and not allowing the light in. You can see the Opera House here as well. Oh, there, this is a good little spot here. Opera House and the Harbour Bridge. So, myself, the majority of girls that I end up dating have a low body count. They haven't slept with a lot of guys. They're not bitchy and arrogant and have mental problems like bipolar or some sort of neuroticism. They're not emotional, they're a little bit more logical, they're less likely to cheat on me. I find myself dating a lot of good, innocent girls in the West. And I have a long history of doing that since I was 17, when I learned that there were bad girls out there. Now, this is something that I think a lot of guys struggle with, because when they do their cold approach to meet women, they're coming across either too needy or too weak. And what happens is the women that they're approaching end up sensing that weakness and taking the men for granted, taking advantage of the men. There's a lot of younger men that are dating older women, older manipulative women. Guys like myself, I see the world as, I truly believe that men and women are equal. That means objectively, it is equal. In the West, a lot of the times, the power is skewed heavily in women's favor. And that puts a lot of men at a massive disadvantage. And men, they get a little bit oppressed in society, and so they're a little bit scared to even approach. Let's just put it this way: dating coaches wouldn't exist if it was a male-dominated society. They just wouldn't exist, because men would be fine. They would have all the success they needed just because of how the society is. So, just evidence that there are dating coaches and people who are teaching men how to cold approach is evidence that there's very little power in the hands of men. Now, if you truly believe that men and women are equal, then you will behave that way, and you will not tolerate a woman that is going to manipulate and abuse you and try to exploit you. Too many men get into cold approach. They try to learn pickup. They try to learn how to increase their results with women, and they come across way too needy. I see it all the time. There's, recently I've noticed that over the past 2 years, I've talked about the London day game model and how these guys would approach girls and how it came across needy. It was sold to men as if it was an alpha thing to do, when in fact it was the total opposite. It was very needy. It came across very weak. Men didn't come across alpha at all. It increases the flake rate and rejection rate. They make a fool of themselves. They blow out the areas. They get a lot of rejection. They find themselves dating girls that are lower quality. And on top of that, since the last 2 years that I've been pointing that out, the coaches of the London day game model have changed. So I've been successful in altering the community so far, which is pretty cool, I think. But here in Sydney, Australia, I find myself dating lots of innocent girls. Girls that have low body counts, girls that are virgins, girls that have other things going in their lives. They're not party girls. Also noticed that I was told recently that one of the best pickup coaches in the world, one of the best, world-renowned one, was saying that the girl that he's seeing is in an open relationship with him. So his girlfriend can go and have sex with other guys while having sex with him. And it seems like he's now teaching sex toys and how to give girls orgasms and things like that. He uses all these sex toys, and it seems like what he's doing is he's trying to overcompensate for the fact that she's sleeping around with lots of men. So he's trying to make sure that he gives her the best possible sex, which is weakness in itself, because she shouldn't be sleeping around with other guys while she's sleeping with him. So a lot of men out there have this wrong. They also feed into the whole, oh, red pill is bad, when really red pill and the basic ideology behind red pill is about the female fascism that has dominated the society. Now, if you truly believe that men and women are equal, you're not going to tolerate being manipulated, which a lot of young men that are desperate, they end up sleeping with cougars and dating cougars that manipulate them and take advantage of them and emotionally abuse them as well. A lot of younger men that date older women end up coming out of those relationships abused and traumatized. If you have, self-respect, you won't tolerate that from any of them. And then eventually you will find yourself some good girls that will treat you well and not sleep around and not try to manipulate you and not abuse you, not emotionally abuse you, etc., etc., etc. And then a lot of guys, they get themselves in trouble with women. They get in abusive relationships. And it all comes back to how you cold approach them. It all comes back to what you are willing to tolerate off the cold approach and during the early phases of dating. And what I would like to say is that there is a way that you can hold your power, hold leverage within the relationship early on when you approach these girls, as well as get an unbelievable amount of success. And I've noticed out there that hardly anyone's teaching that, which is awesome, because I can teach you that. And if you're struggling out there and you are struggling to get a good girlfriend, maybe you've just had a breakup, maybe you've had a divorce, and you want to go out there and try to find yourself a decent girl, reach out to me. Go to the website, sign up and do some cold approach coaching with myself, and I'll teach you how to maximize your results out there. Simple as that. Retain your power, find yourself good girls that have low body counts, that are not trouble, don't manipulate you, sign up to some cold approach coaching with myself today. I also do immersions. At the moment, the immersions are in Asia. If I can get enough guys, I'd like to travel further afield, definitely. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys when you sign up.